The world of international defense was taken by surprise. Few expected the Philippines, a nation at the crossroads of major power competition in Asia, to make such a bold move. For months, the Philippines seemed set to acquire a squadron of F-16 Viper fighter jets, a symbol of American air power and alliance. The Viper, with its advanced avionics and combat capabilities, was seen as a game changer for the region. The deal was seen as a leap forward for the Philippine Air Force and a reaffirmation of ties with Washington. Many believed it would strengthen the country's deterrence posture and deepen its strategic partnership with the United States. But in a move that stunned observers, Manila walked away from the negotiating table. The sudden reversal left both allies and rivals questioning the country's defense priorities. President Marcos Jr. Juarez administration announced the country would not proceed with the multi-billion-dollar purchase. The decision was not made lightly, and it sent shockwaves through diplomatic and military circles. The reason? Not just the steep upfront cost, but the massive long-term burden of maintenance, training, and support. Operating modern fighter jets requires a huge investment in infrastructure, spare parts, and highly skilled personnel, costs that can quickly spiral out of control for a developing nation. The government asked, was this the best use of limited resources? The answer was no. Instead of pouring billions into a handful of jets, officials argued those funds could be better spent on broader military modernization, disaster response, and internal security. This was a turning point, choosing practical, sustainable defense over prestige hardware. The focus shifted to upgrading existing assets, improving training, and investing in systems that matched the country's real needs. The decision marked a shift from relying on expensive foreign solutions to a doctrine rooted in pragmatism and self-reliance. It was about building a force that could be maintained and operated effectively, not just one that looked impressive on paper. The world watched, puzzled. But for Manila, it was about forging a bolder, more independent vision for national defense. The move signaled a willingness to break from tradition and prioritize the country's unique security challenges. Why turn down the Viper? Not out of weakness, but to chart a new sovereign path. One that puts the Philippines' interests, capabilities, and future first, even if it means defying expectations on the global stage. The F-16 is more than just a high-tech fighter jet. It's a powerful symbol, representing not only military might, but also the bonds between nations. For decades, the F-16 has served as a badge of alliance with the United States, a visible marker of trust and shared interests. For the Philippines, acquiring the F-16 would have signaled a deepened partnership, a public affirmation of American support, and a step toward modernizing its own air force. The proposed deal was pitched as a strategic imperative, one that would tie Manila more closely into Washington's vast defense network and enhance regional security. With interoperable jets, joint operations would become seamless, allowing the two air forces to train, fly, and respond as a unified team, strengthening both nations' capabilities. Yet this powerful symbolism came with a price: dependence on foreign technology, training, and support. Critics raised tough questions. Could true security be achieved by tying the nation's defense so tightly to another country's interests? Was this partnership or a potential vulnerability? The F-16, for all its power, could become a golden cage, offering strength, but always with strings attached and decisions influenced from afar. Manila's decision to forego the jets was more than a procurement choice. It was a declaration that alliances should be partnerships built on equality, not dependencies that limit autonomy. The Philippines chose to chart its own path, seeking collaboration and mutual benefit over one-sided reliance, and investing in a more self-reliant defense. It was a subtle but significant shift, less about the hardware in the hangar, and more about forging relationships built on mutual respect and shared sovereignty. Passing on the F-16S was not defiance, it was self-definition. The Marcos administration re-examined what national security means in the 21st century. Is security just about owning advanced jets or about building resilience? True security, they argued, is rooted in a robust economy, skilled workforce, and sovereign capability. Billions spent on jets could instead build a sustainable defense ecosystem. The new policy prioritized affordable, effective systems tailored to the Philippines' unique needs. Manila asserted independence, aiming to be an architect of its own defense, not just a customer. The decision was about reclaiming sovereignty, defending the nation on its own terms. By turning down the F-16, the Philippines strengthened its role in collective security through self-reliance. A tailored, sustainable defense makes for a more stable and reliable partner. Instead of buying foreign jets, the Philippines invested in its people and industry. The Self-Reliant Defense Posture Program was revitalized, aiming to build a domestic defense ecosystem. Funds were channeled into R&D, local shipyards, and training Filipino engineers. The goal produced patrol craft, drones, and communications gear suited to the archipelago's needs. Homegrown solutions mean equipment is tailored, affordable, and easier to maintain. A domestic industry creates jobs, drives tech advancement, and boosts national pride. Filipino-built defense systems foster ownership and patriotism. This shift is about more than hardware. It's about building confidence in a stronger republic. The Philippine Air Force once relied on aging, outdated aircraft. Modernization began with the acquisition of South Korea's F-A-50 Fighting Eagle. The F-A-50 offered a leap in capability, modern radar, precision weapons, and supersonic speed. It could handle air combat, ground attack, and maritime patrol, all at a fraction of the F-16's cost. Lower operational expenses meant more jets, more flight hours, and better readiness. The F-A-50 program proved the Philippines could operate modern fighters sustainably. These jets have flown critical patrols and supported ground operations, restoring Air Force morale. The experience showed that smart, incremental modernization works. The F-A-50's success laid the groundwork for rejecting the F-16. It was a lesson in choosing what fits, walking before running. The PAF's evolution continues, built on pragmatic choices. For decades, the Philippine military's primary focus was on internal security, with the Army holding a dominant role in operations and planning. The threats were mostly domestic, insurgencies, local conflicts, and maintaining peace within the country's borders. But in recent years, shifting geopolitics, especially the growing tensions and disputes in the West Philippine Sea, have dramatically changed the security landscape. Now, air and maritime security have moved to the forefront of national defense priorities, as the Philippines faces new external challenges. The Philippine Air Force, once seen as a supporting branch, is now central to the nation's defense strategy. Its responsibilities have expanded to include constant monitoring of the skies and seas, providing deterrence against potential threats, and ensuring rapid response capabilities in times of crisis. President Marcos Jr. has been a vocal advocate for this transformation, championing the modernization of air power and emphasizing its critical role in safeguarding Philippine sovereignty and territorial integrity. Today, the Philippine Air Force's mission is more complex than ever. It now includes regular patrols over contested waters, advanced intelligence gathering, and serving as the first line of defense against any external aggression. The transformation is profound, evolving from a support force into a strategic power, with significant investments in technology, training, and infrastructure to match its new responsibilities. In defense planning, the Air Force has become the new center of gravity, shaping strategies and decisions at the highest levels of command. The recent decision to acquire advanced fighter jets is more than just a procurement. It reflects a new doctrine. The focus is on building a comprehensive, integrated air defense system, not merely acquiring prestige platforms. Resources are now being allocated across a spectrum of capabilities: modern fighters, sophisticated radar networks, missile defense systems, and advanced surveillance aircraft, all working together to create a layered and effective defense. This marks a holistic and resilient approach, integrating all branches of the military for a new era of regional competition and national security. The new vision for the Air Force is about more than new planes. The focus is on investing in people, training skilled pilots, technicians, and engineers. Modern simulators, upgraded depots, and overseas training are building a new generation of airmen. The government is nurturing a domestic aerospace industry, starting with maintenance and moving toward manufacturing. Local innovation is encouraged at universities and research centers, fostering a culture of aerospace R&D. The goal eventually design and build indigenous components and systems. This strategy creates jobs, drives economic growth, and reduces foreign dependence. Investing in training and local industry is a bet on Filipino ingenuity. The dream, a self-sustaining aerospace sector powering both defense and prosperity. Sidestepping the F-16 didn't mean retreating from alliances. Instead, it opened the door to more balanced, mature cooperation, especially with the U.S. The focus is now on sharing knowledge, skills, and technology, not just hardware. Joint exercises like Balakatan are now true collaborations, integrating Filipino capabilities. Technology transfer and co-production are key, helping build the local defense industry. Future deals may include local assembly and maintenance, deepening economic ties. The Philippines is asserting itself as a proactive security provider, not just a consumer. The message partnerships of equals, building strength together. This new approach creates more sustainable, effective alliances for regional stability. The F-16 decision marks a pivotal moment of national self-realization. The Philippines chose pragmatism and self-reliance over prestige and dependency. The vision, a secure, prosperous nation, defending its sovereignty with homegrown talent and industry. Smart choices, like the F-50 and a comprehensive air defense, ensure long-term security. Investing in people and local industry fosters a strong national identity and economic growth. The journey to self-reliance is building a resilient, independent nation. Strong partnerships remain, but on more equitable terms. The Philippines is taking flight, ready to defend its future and soar as a sovereign nation.